2, 1. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into Reddit in Moderation this week. This is the podcast where we talk to subreddit moderators to see what they and their community are all about. This week, we are joined by a moderator of r/Smashbros, user Stuart98, to discuss everything related to Smashbros. Before we get into the interview, I just wanted to give a introduction and briefly discuss why I wanted to discuss Smash Bros. So Smash Bros is a fighting game series involving Nintendo and third-party characters. I have been playing Smash Bros since its first iteration on the Nintendo 64. I grew up playing and losing against my brother and my friends for close to 20 years. I have played every game and have competed in tournaments for Smash 4. I won one tournament and $100 once, and I have actually this is my proudest accomplishment. I have taken one game off of Elegant, the best Luigi player in the world. He may or may not have been playing Luigi at the time. I don't want to talk about that. That's not what we're here to talk about. Smash is not just a game. It is a lifestyle. The community is amazing, supportive, and smelly. I love everything about Smash. With that being said, I would love to introduce our guest, moderator of r/Smashbros, who is not smelly, user Stuart98. Thank you for being with us here today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the Salt Lake City, Utah area.
Oh, okay,
That's
nice.
where I've lived since I was about 2. So
yeah, I've always wanted to go to Utah. I believe they have like a lot of national parks. So is there like a main national park in Utah?
there's 5 national parks. Zion is the
that's the
most
one, yeah.
popular one. I went to 3 of them last year. Haven't been to Canyonlands or Arches yet. Was hoping to do that a few months ago, but family decided to go somewhere else instead, which was fine. But I think that Bryce Canyon is the best, in my opinion. It's got the most majestic views.
Nice.
Love Inspiration Point.
Is there a big Smash community in Utah?
There's a sizable one. I've been to a few tournaments. Send, formerly known as Best Ness, is a top 50 player from the area.
Yeah, I'm familiar with him. I didn't know he was from Utah though. He's insanely good. He really is the the best Ness.
Yeah.
So how long have you been playing Smash for?
I've been playing Smash for roughly a decade. We didn't get a console until towards the end of when I was in elementary school. So something like 6th grade, we got a Wii, and Smash was Brawl was, of course, one of the first games we got for that, and I've been playing the series ever since. I wouldn't call myself good by any means. I show up on the rare occasions I go to a tournament, I get pretty thoroughly demolished. But
well, hey, I mean, like 90% of people do. Like that's the whole point of going to tournaments,
Half the people who go to a tournament will either go 0-2 or 1-2, and most of those people are still better than the people who don't show up at all. So
that's true. Like you can be kind of like in that area where it's like you're better than all your friends, but then you're the worst at the tournaments. Like there's that middle ground.
That's a very common. I'm basically in that myself. So
all right. So how did you get into Smash? Like, did you already like hear about Smash Bros before you got the Wii, or did you get the Wii specifically for it?
There was a friend whose house I would go over to occasionally in elementary school, and we played quite a bit of Brawl. So.
And have you played every game after Brawl, or do you?
Yes.
So I don't think anybody still plays Brawl, to be honest. I think there's a whole like stigma around Brawl and the tripping mechanics and all that stuff.
Unmodded Brawl does not get a whole lot of playtime.
That's
Brawl
true.
Minus now.
I never played Brawl Minus. That's just basically where they took out all the bad mechanics and put in good ones, right? And modded the crap out of it.
Brawl Minus is where they basically made it so that every character has some of the most broken stuff ever.
So it's like everybody's broken, so nobody's broken kind of a thing.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. What's been your favorite Smash game so far, and which game are you like currently playing right now?
I don't have the technical skill to play Melee, so I've just been sticking with the newest entry of the series. So I went from Brawl to Smash 4 to now Ultimate.
Okay, and which one's been your favorite so far?
I like Ultimate a lot. I think it strikes a balance pretty well of being fast paced while not having mechanical overload.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I feel like if you do want to get into depth with mechanics, you can do that, but it's not the most necessary thing. I think probably neutral is like the
Mhm.
biggest aspect in
Yeah.
Smash Ultimate.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
the neutral feels really good, you know.
Hmm.
But I'm still kind of like up in the air between how I feel about Smash 4 compared to Ultimate because they're, you know, they're very similar games. And
Hmm.
I went ham into Smash 4. Not gonna lie. So you said that you attend tournaments. Did you
I've
attend any
gone to
recently?
I've gone to a couple, not any since the pandemic hit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the pandemic really like decimated the tournament scene. You know, everything went online. Did you go to like local tournaments or did you go to like majors?
I went to GTX 2018 in Smash 4, and then in Ultimate, I went to uh, a handful of locals and an Arcadian.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I never went to any majors. I mostly just went to locals. There was one near me called FD, Final Destination. You know, I live in Los Angeles, and there's actually a pretty strong Smash scene here in the in
Mhm.
SoCal. So I would the I don't know, they're kind of notable in the Smash community, but like Master Mario, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but
Yeah.
he was like up there close to like a Zenyu in skill, I would say.
Mhm.
So I got bodied by him pretty hard. Elegant actually went there a couple times. Ah, crap. I'm trying to think of other notable players, but it was mostly the people that they would go to that local, but then they would go to 2GG and they would play against real top players like Void, Zenyu. Um, I'm drawing a blank on it. Who else plays there? But there are a lot of is it the Fox player?
Larry Lur
I think
or
Larry Lure and Light. I think Light is
or
also SoCal too.
no, Light is New England.
Uh
Are you thinking of Charlie the King? That's
oh, Advanced
another.
Charlie the King. Yeah, yeah. So a lot of talent down here. It's really stacked. What character do you play?
That's an interesting question. So at the end of Smash 4, I was playing Pikachu, Rosalina, and Corrin, and I kept those three going into ult and also picked up Inkling. And at this point, I've dropped Corrin and Inkling and am playing Mithra at slash Pyra as my main with a side of Pikachu and Rosalina.
So is there any like specific reason that you chose those characters? Is it because like you think they're cool or do you like their play style?
I like their playstyle.
You like their play style.
Yeah, the each has something particular that is it just makes it the game certain situations easier. So Pikachu's quick attack is great. The way Luma can be used to have a sword-like hitbox that reaches really far out for Rosalina is really great, and just the way that Aegis's can switch the tempo of the game by
Mhm.
switching from really fast, aggressive playstyle to slower, more powerful playstyle. I like that a lot.
All I
Yeah.
have to say is great minds think alike because I'm actually a Pikachu main myself. Um, I don't know. I think mostly it's because you know the tier list. Pikachu's so good, but I think what it really comes down to is I really just like the technical aspect of Pikachu, like
Mm-hmm.
um you know what you were saying about quick attack, like all the things that you can do with it. You can just get around the stage super quickly. I love doing the lightning loops and stuff. Actually, lightning loops is Pichu.
Yeah,
Nair
it's
it's just
near
Nair
loops.
loops. Yeah, just Nair loops for Pikachu. Um what would you say like your preferred play style is?
I like to play really lame. When I play Pikachu, I'm a campy T-Jolt spammer.
Oh, T-Jolt spammer. No. You make us look bad. And what about for Rosalina?
For Rosalina, I like to actually play a rather aggressive Rosalina, getting in people's faces, grabbing them, and using back air and F smash a lot. F
Nice.
smash can catch so many people off guard with Rosalina. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think it also hits below the stage too, so it's like a good for edge guarding and everything like that too.
Yeah.
Um, and for Pyramithra, there I feel like you could do it change up your play style when you like switch characters, between them.
Yeah. When I play Mithra, I like to get in their face a lot. I use a lot of Lightning Buster. Uh, and when I play Pyra, more slow, waiting for them to approach me. And I I catch a lot of people sleeping with Prominence Revolt.
Oh, Prominence Rule. That's the neutral B, right?
No, that's the up B that kills at like 80 for some reason.
Oh my gosh, broken.
That's why I play them.
Yeah. And what type of stages do you play on? Do you like prefer platforms, or is it kind of character dependent on you, or like how
I
do you
pref-
how do you do
I
stage
I
selection?
prefer dual plats. So uh Smile Battlefield, Pokemon Stadium, Kalos.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's one thing that I haven't gotten too much into is stage selection, but I feel like stage selection really can make a difference, in the games. Like some characters really benefit from platforms, some don't. When I go Pikachu, I try to play, stage without platforms so you can get like the Nair loops in there. But if
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing like a swords character, then that's when I want to play with platforms.
Mm.
Um, have you done anything like a TO? Had any like tournaments or anything like that?
I haven't TO'd for any tournaments, but I've seeded for quite a few. And I'm actually a bit before this interview started, I was doing the seeding for Low Tide City, which is coming up pretty soon. Gonna finish that up after this interview is over.
So how does seating work? Like you have to go into, I mean, you can just explain it because I don't want to guess.
So seeding is basically determining when people in bracket fight each other. So the idea is that you have you don't have your top players, MKLeo and Tweak, fighting each other in round one. You have them fighting at the end of the tournament. So in earlier rounds, you have MKLeo versus some rando, Tweak versus some rando, and
Yeah.
you basically try to order it so that the best players don't fight each other until the end of the end of the tournament.
Hmm.
So
So, but how do you go about making the seeds? Is it kind of like an opinion based, or is it you have to look at prior tournament results and actually like use statistics?
it there's no like hard statistical method that we use, but it is a lot of we look at the results that they've had recently and who they've gotten wins on, who they've lost to, just take all of that in aggregate and then generate a rough ordering. Right now, everything is randomized within tiers. So because there's been such a dearth of results during the COVID period, we don't want to rely a bunch on online results because online is such a different game from offline ultimate. So uh we just have like all the ninths, all the people that we think will get ninth, we randomize that. The people who will get 13th, we randomize the position between that. So uh and the we work generally as a team of people, so like a half dozen to a dozen people
Oh
will
wow.
submit lists to of how they think the player should be ordered to the TO, and then those lists will be averaged, and then we can hash out things from there, like this player and this player have fought each other recently, so we'll swap their position so that this player will fight this other similarly skilled player rather than the person that they fought recently.
Mhm. I want to get into some more like meta questions about Smash. So I just want like what do you think makes like a Smash special? Why do you play Smash like out of all the other fighting games out there?
Smash is special because it's simple to learn. You don't have all these crazy button combos, quarter circle things, unless you play very a couple characters like Ryu or Terry. You just have these very few button combos, and yet it's still such a deep game where so many different interactions and freeform combos can flow from that simplicity. So it's very easy. It's the classic example of a game that's simple to learn but difficult to master.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that, especially, in the beginning, with Smash 64, like you don't even have the special moves or anything like that. So
No side
it started
specials.
off, no, nothing, no side specials. I don't even think there was like a down throw or anything like that. It was literally like
Yeah.
almost like a game of rock, paper, scissors. Now it's become a little bit more complex, but I think you're right. I think the simplicity is still there, but if you really want to take it, there's definitely levels, that you can achieve.
Hmm.
So, just for other people, the people that are listening to this and they aren't really familiar with the games, like what would you say are like the differences, between like the four main games? Actually, I guess there's
Uh,
five with Ultimate.
so 64 is the simplest. Uh, it has fewer moves available. There's no side specials. There's no uh, forward throw, or no, it's just forward throws and back throws. There's no up throws and down throws, I don't think. And there's uh, you can't charge smash attacks. It also only has 12 characters. And the big thing with 64 is that it's really, really combo heavy. You get one hit in, and then you can keep getting hits in to until you take the character's stock.
Yeah, I think that's because there's a huge amount of knockback.
It,
Not
there's a
knockback.
hit stun.
Hit stun.
So
Yeah.
after you get hit, the amount of time until you can move again it's longer in 64 than in any of the other games, I think.
Yeah. And then what are your thoughts about Melee?
Melee is sick, but it's not for everyone. Especially it's much harder to play than it is to spectate. And the thing with Melee is that it has so many technical things. It's very combo heavy. You've got your wave dashes, so lots of different movement options. Uh, Melee might be the most movement based out of all the games, and it's a very punishing game compared to the others. 64 is the most punishing, of course.
Yeah, that's true. You know, it's still pretty easy to get into Melee, I feel like, but at the highest level, man, it will hurt your fingers because there's a wave dashing, L canceling, shine canceling,
Hmm.
it's such a technical game, but it is beautiful to watch, and I think it is interesting that Nintendo didn't really plan for it to be the game that it is, and so I think there's kind of like, an interesting relationship around that. Like, how do you feel about like Nintendo's relationship to the Smash community?
Uh, it's unfortunate. I think at this point it would just be best if they got out of the way, because you see these like circuits that have been planned by Red Bull or Twitch, and they want to do these things, and Nintendo says no, don't do that. We have our own circuit that we're planning, and then Nintendo never puts out these circuits that they claim that they're planning. Meanwhile, they interfere with the community. Like there's a really essential mod for competitive Melee called UCF Universal Controller Fix that it makes it so that in normal Melee there's issues where you have controllers that are inconsistent. You need very specific controllers that are hard to find in order to play top level melee optimally. And Universal Controller Fix addresses that issue. It makes it so that you don't need special controllers in order to play melee at a top level.
Mhm.
And Nintendo bans UCF from being used at all these tournaments. And then recently you've seen them banning Project Plus, the successor to the Project M mod for Brawl, from being played at tournaments like Riptide a couple of weeks ago. At I forget if it was, I think it was Low Tide City that had to cancel it in the past few days. So Nintendo just from the perspective of a spectator, it doesn't seem like Nintendo is doing all that much for the scene positively, and they are very tangibly impacting the scene negatively.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think a lot of the ways that they've interacted with the scene have been negative, you know, especially compared to other games out there. There's a lot of other games that, you know, they'll fund tournaments for, and there'll be huge cash prizes. So like pros can actually make like a decent living off of playing competitively. But I feel like the Smash community is different because it's so grassroots. You know, we have to do like all of our own fundraising and everything like that. And I think most of the pros probably make their money off of the community in ways like YouTube or like Twitch streaming and stuff like that.
Yeah, you hear of players like Mango will go to an event and lose money off of attending that tournament versus if they had just stayed home and streamed it on Twitch.
Oh, and that's if they like won the tournament too. They
Yes.
still would have made money
Yes.
oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. And yeah, I think in some ways Nintendo, like, they just don't want the game to be competitive. And I get it to a certain extent because I think they do want to preserve the simplistic feature. But I think there's just a lot of easy things that they could do, like even just like having a better training mode or something like that, you know, like the training mode in Smash is just such garbage. And maybe even having a better online, you know, like, are you familiar with Anther's Ladder?
Yes, I was semi-active on it towards the tail end of Smash 4.
Yeah, maybe you can explain to everyone what Anther's Ladder is.
It was basically, well, I say was, I think it does
I think
still
it's still
exist.
there, but nobody really
Yeah.
uses it anymore. But
It was basically the site where you could have a skilled matchmaking ladder with other people playing under a competitive rule set online. So because there's no official ladder in Smash, so we have to make use of these community ladders that people have built and skilled matchmaking systems.
How do you feel about like the newest like form of like online, you know, like Wi-Fi, like battling, Elite Smash?
I actually I just barely got into Elite Smash yesterday. Fun story. My sister, one of my sisters was watching me play. I decided to pick me Sword Fighter because it was the character that I had the highest global Smash power in for some reason. And I was like, I am going to lose Smash power. And instead, I won a single match against some bad NES player, and boom, Elite Smash. It was incredible comedic timing. But the Elite Smash, it doesn't, it is so bad because there's
You're not wrong.
there's no guarantee that the people that you're matched up with will even have a competitive rule set enabled. They might have items enabled. They might have crazy stages with walk-offs that have horrible gameplay enabled, or you might not even get a 1v1. You might be thrown into a 2v2. You might be thrown into a free-for-all. It does not work as a competitive matchmaking system.
Yeah, and I think the GSP, the Global Smash Power system, is pretty broken too, because it doesn't really give you a solid understanding of like where you are, you know, amongst other players, because you get this like number, and I guess it means that you're better than all those people, but you don't know exactly how many people are playing, so you don't know like what position you really are. So it's like they don't they don't want you to know like how good you are at the game.
And it's this idea of, instead of showing them how many people are better than them, we'll show how many people they're better than, because that will make them feel better. Except that the numbers aren't actually quite accurate. It's very possible for someone to get down to 0 GSP. And if a bad player gets down to 0 GSP, that's arguably worse than knowing that you have 9 million people above you or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, and what was
I'm
I?
the worst player on in quick play.
I remember seeing those YouTube videos where people would try getting to 0. But then there's also the opposite, like people will like adjust the rule sets and stuff like that for like GSP farming and everything, where
Oh
they'll play
yeah,
like
I,
one
I'm
stock like
I'm going, or no, the farming, it's I'm going to play 3 stock, 3 minutes, and I'm going to pick the campiest character ever.
oh man, you mean Sonic?
Or it's usually projectile characters that you see doing that, like Toon Links and stuff.
So what things do you think that Nintendo could do to better the Smash community?
Uh, for one, stop interfering with Melee and Project Plus being the that they're being played at tournaments, the way they're being played at tournaments. Stop interfering with that. And another, fix the online system for Smash. Implement rollback netcode so that you can you don't have this crazy input delay that you have in online Smash currently.
Mhm.
It's crazy that the Slippy developers who made the Slippy mod for playing Melee, they've developed a better netcode than Nintendo has.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
that's just insane.
And they weren't doing it for money or anything like that either. I believe that Project Slippy is free too, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Didn't they get like they didn't get sued or anything? Did they get like a cease and desist? I remember hearing something about that. Do you know anything about
I
that?
don't recall anything being done about Slippy by Nintendo. Uh, I I could just be spacing on it. I don't know.
I'm Googling it right now, and I found a little article here that Nintendo did issue a cease and desist to tournament organizers for using Project Slippy.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that the big house. It was using Slippy for Melee, and Nintendo was like, "No, you can't do that." And I think what they did was they ended up canceling the Melee portion of that tournament because screw playing online Smash without rollback netcode.
yeah. And it's like, why does Nintendo care? This is a 20-year-old game too that they're playing. Like,
Hmm.
oh
No,
man, they're
the
just very protective of their IP, I guess.
can you imagine how many more people would buy Smash Ultimate if no one played Melee anymore? It's literally dozens of people.
Mm. That's true. So what changes do you think that Nintendo could do to improve Smash Ultimate, the newest game specifically?
Rollback netcode and for online, making it so that online you're able to set uh, rule sets so that if the other person has these rules enabled, you will not get matched up with them no matter what. So that you don't have these, you know what type of game that you're going to get
Yeah.
when you play online Smash. That should be a basic component of any online gaming system.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. I think those would actually be like super solid changes.
And
Um,
if
yeah,
Nintendo wants to support the tournament scene, then they should give it proper support that we're seeing from other companies like Blizzard, like Epic Games, where they give tournaments proper funding so that people who want to play Smash as an esport are able to do so as a living. Like, it's Nintendo. Why is it that the top Smash players are making thousands of dollars at a tournament when top Fortnite players are making hundreds of times that? It's
true. think at some Fortnite tournaments they have like $1 million like cash prizes and stuff
Hmm.
like that. And it's insane. How do you feel like Nintendo is doing on balancing the game as far as characters go?
It Ultimate is a better balanced game than any previous Smash game. I will say that much. I think Nintendo's mostly done the right thing in terms of not nerfing overly the most powerful characters, mostly buffing less powerful characters. Uh, Pikachu hasn't gotten any nerfs. Joker's gotten some nerfs, but they haven't really hurt him. Pichu was over nerfed probably. I think Pichu's underplayed for how good it is right now. But the nerfs did undeniably hurt it quite a bit.
Yeah,
And
it's interesting you
that's a
mentioned
misstep.
Pichu because so the way I play the game is so I don't really go to tournaments right now or anything like that. I just kind of play Elite Smash, and my whole thing is I'm trying to get every single character into Elite Smash. And right now I am so stuck on Pichu. I've been playing Pichu for like a month and a half, and man, I would really like to have that forward tilt back.
Wouldn't it be great if F tilt killed at 70?
Oh man, it is so hard to kill with like Pichu now, and he dies so early. Man. So I'm really salty about the Pichu nerfs at the
Mhm.
moment, but I do agree with you. I think they're actually balancing the game really well, especially better than other games. Maybe you want to talk about maybe the most unbalanced character. Can you maybe talk about Brawl Meta Knight?
Oh yeah, Brawl Meta Knight was uh it was ridiculous. So many just unpunishable moves. And I will say that I didn't watch a huge amount of competitive Brawl. I didn't actually really get invested in watching the competitive scene until about midway through 2017.
Mhm.
But so from what I've seen of Brawl, just Meta Knight was ridiculous, and Ice Climbers were ridiculous. The way that they could grab you and they could kill you. And compared, they can do that in melee, but in Brawl, I think it was much easier to set up the grabs to
Mhm.
grab zero to deaths than in
Mhm.
melee.
And that makes me reminds me of this question I want to ask you. Like, what do you think about the community banning certain like characters or combos like infinites and stuff like that? Are you pro banning, against banning?
In general, I'm against banning things. The only things that I think are that should be banned are if you have things that can like delay the game infinitely or until time runs out. So planking and brawl was an example of that.
Mhm.
And you've got other like in melee, when if you're wobbling someone, you can only wobble them up to 300%, so that you can't just get a stock lead or a percent lead and then
Mhm.
wobble them to until the clock runs out. That's definitely something that is properly banned. But that aside, I'm not a big fan of banning things just because it's too strong or whatever. Like the none of the games are that terribly balanced where only one or two characters can be successful. There's a variety of characters that are usable in top level play in all the games. So I don't I if something's so powerful that you want it banned, I think in general my response to that is just get good.
That's pretty harsh. That's pretty harsh. No, I agree for the most part. I think Nintendo does do a pretty good job of balancing things. I think the things that I want to ban are mostly just from my own personal bias. The only things that I really wanted to see banned was maybe Bayonetta in Smash 4 because she was just so broken and toxic and could just zero you to death from anywhere pretty much. And even if you got it, to a position where you can hit her, she can just counter you and then send you into another zero to death. And I thought that was extremely toxic. And there are only maybe a couple characters that could actually deal with her.
The thing about Bayonetta is that her combos generally weren't really true. They're it's just that the SDI was not used a whole lot in most other matchups in Smash 4. So when you play against Bayonetta and you have to do all this SDI, It's just different counterplay than most characters required. Bayonetta was definitely a very strong character in Smash 4, but I don't think that she was band level powerful. She was definitely a lot less strong compared to the rest of the cast than Brawl Meta Knight or
Yeah.
even Melee Fox.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. What characters would you want to see like buffed in Smash Ultimate?
I like to all the bottom tiers are pretty in need of buffs. So like Piranha Plant, Dr. Mario, Ganondorf, Donkey Kong, King K. Rool. I just like to see more character variety overall. Kirby's another one. I don't have a tier list in front of me. I can open one.
Yeah, it's true. There's so many characters in Smash. I think there's something like 80 something characters. It's hard to keep track of them all. I'm gonna look up one too right now.
Yeah, I'll take a look at what the r/Smashbros tier list from a couple of weeks ago is. Links from past month. Here we go. 380 votes, which is the highest amount since December 2019. Shout out to Duck Hunt Top Tier for putting the work into running the tier list surveys and putting all the data together for these. So
It is a
Little
lot of
Mac,
work. Yeah.
Incineroar, Isabel, Lucario. Lucario's weird because he was like nerfed a couple months into the game, and that was just weird because he wasn't that great before, and now he's just totally trash.
Yeah, I don't know. And he has a weird play style too, where it's like you have to like, getting hit a lot before you can actually do anything to other characters. So I feel like Lucario is not for everybody, that's for sure. Um, how do you think that tiers really matter that much in Smash? Do you think that new players, they should use tier lists to choose who they want to play as, or do you think they should just play as who they want to?
Tiers are only level if you're at the level of play where you're making money from tournaments. So for well over 90% of the player base, just find a character that you jive with, that you're able that fits you well, and it doesn't really matter where they are in the tier list. Your own skill is going to be a bigger limiting factor than the character's weaknesses. It's only at the level where you're placing well in these tournaments that tiers really come into play. And even then, like Violet's a mid-tier character, and MKLeo has been doing very well using her in these tournaments. So
That's true. Are there any characters that you would want to see added into Smash Bros?
right now, my most hoped for character, which at this point, because of who the last Fighters Pass character is, not because Pyre and Myth are in the game, it's definitely not going to happen, but I'd love to see Alma be added. The Xenoblade X, of course, is basically the last good Wii U game that hasn't seen a Switch port or a direct sequel. So I was hoping that we might see a Switch port for Xenoblade X and Alma being added alongside that, added to Smash alongside that, because the other two Xenoblade games, their protagonists are represented. Meanwhile, Xenoblade X isn't.
And which characters in like the past have you been like the most excited to see added to the roster?
There's no like my favorite Nintendo franchise other than I guess it's currently Xenoblade, but before that it was Metroid. But since Ridley's in the game, there's no obvious characters from Metroid to add to Smash. So I like to see Bandana Waddle Dee added, because that's it's weird how Kirby is this big Nintendo franchise and the one that Sakurai spent the most time on, and yet one of its four main characters isn't in Smash.
Hmm. But I was actually asking like which characters like that were already announced, like were you the most excited to see announced? Like in
Okay.
my, like for me it was Banjo and Kazooie. Like, you know, I played the original one, I played Banjo 2. I even played a couple like the spin-off Banjo Kazooie games. So when I never thought I was going to get in because he got traded all the way to the Microsoft, you know, Microsoft bought Rare. And so I was like, there's no way that, you know, Banjo's ever going to come into Smash. So when he got into Smash, you know, like I was one of those people that were going crazy. I probably should have done the YouTube reaction because I was ballistic. You know?
Yeah, I wasn't super excited for any of the DLC except for Pyre and Mithra. That
Mm,
was really exciting, and of course the Ridley announcement in the first showcase of the game, that was really really exciting because there had been this basically it an ascended meme at that point that he was too big for Smash. There's no way they're letting him in. Uh, it's not workable, and then they just add him, and the the trailer for him, it was just really cool, just how brutal it was seeing him uh, kill Mega Man and Mario. That was shocking.
mhm. Yeah, you know, there are all the memes about like Ridley's too big for Smash, like he's never gonna get in, and he got in. You know, it's amazing what Nintendo can actually do with getting characters in. You know, like nobody thought that, you know, Sonic was ever gonna get in too, and he was, you know, added in Brawl. Um, you know, it's just crazy that you can just play this game where it's like Sonic versus Mega Man versus Mario versus Mewtwo.
Hmm.
Like there's all these huge characters, and they all come together in this one game. You know, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's been cool seeing Smash move from being a celebration of Nintendo characters to a celebration of gaming in general by adding all these iconic characters from non-Nintendo franchises in first Brawl with Snake and Sonic, and then Smash 4, and now Ultimate.
Mhm. Are you excited about the final Sakurai Presents this October 5th?
I'll be watching it for sure. I don't have any guesses as to who it's going to be, but it'll be interesting to see.
I'm hoping it's Master Chief. That's all I have to say.
But that'd be interesting.
Yeah. Um, let's talk about players. You know, which players do you follow?
Uh, I I like ESAM a lot. I like Mars. I like Cosmos. Uh, the there's not a whole lot of players who uh I because I am big in the seeding and also like ranking systems. I keep an eye on the basically everyone notable's results. Uh, I like the seeing the what happens in the Japanese scene a ton
Ah,
because
interesting.
there's all these random people that you've never heard of
Mhm.
with mid-tier characters that will show up and just dominate a tournament.
Yeah, their character selection is so different in Japan. I feel like in the US, like we're all about like tier lists and everything like that. Everybody, you know, just sticks to like this kind of high tier or S tier characters. But in Japan, they're kind of they just play whoever they want to, whoever they think is
Mm-hmm.
cool, and they just take that character to the limit. So when they come over here and they play against us, like we don't even know how to deal with them.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely a lot of uh, you see a lot of Japanese players who play weird characters. Like Raido's the classic example of that. Playing Duck Hunt, the character who's almost never seen in the U.S. The only notable representatives of the character I can think of are Ozone and Wisdom, and they're even then they're like not at that top level. So Raito comes over and he just destroys people and does a lot better uh, in here generally than he does in Japan.
Mhm. Now, speaking of top players, there's a lot of controversy around the top players.
Hmm.
Recently, maybe a year or so ago, there was, a whole Me Too movement within the Smash community involving, top players like Nairo, Captain Zach, Zero. Um, I don't want to get into too specifics. It's, we're not all about gossip here, more about being objective. But do you think the Me Too movement within the Smash community was good or bad for the community, and why?
It's absolutely a good thing. If you have these people who were known to have raped women, have had sexual relations with minors, like that stuff's not acceptable in the community. And it was good that that stuff was exposed, and it's good that we've by and large shown those people the door. There's still it's disappointing to see that there's this segment of the community who wants to let some of these people back, like D1, who he was outed for having sex with a drunk woman, and that's unacceptable. And he's starting to stream again, which I don't think that people in the community should be welcoming that. What he did is not okay. These people, they don't deserve a second chance in the community. They're Even if the legal system doesn't properly handle these cases of like sexual abuse, that doesn't mean that we should let them, just because under criminal they're not under criminal proceedings, that's not an excuse to just allow them to remain in the community.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. I think for the most part, the Me Too movement was good within the community. I think, it brought a lot of things to light that people should know about. And I think the community was actually really good about reacting to it. I know that like players like were officially banned from certain like tournaments and scenes and stuff like that. Um, so I think in that respect, it actually worked out pretty well.
Yeah,
And
it
I think they're being pretty like objective about it. And I think it's good. You're gonna
yeah,
say?
it was disappointing to see these players that
Yeah.
a lot of us held in high regards revealed to be doing all these horrible things. But that's reality. They aren't who we thought they were, and the we need to acknowledge that and not allow them in our community.
Hmm.
And
Oh, sorry.
I think on the subreddit, we've done a good job of making that clear. And we actually changed our rules on that, on posts about that about a month or so ago, a month and a half, something like that. Time flies. So we basically made it so that if someone's posting like an allegation or something on Twitter, we don't allow that itself on the subreddit, because what happens on the subreddit, that's not going to ultimately alter the actual outcome. So if someone gets banned from a tournament, then we can posts about that are fine. If someone if allegations are against someone are disproved, like happened with Nairo,
Hmm.
then and that leads to them being unbanned, then posts about that are fine. But we don't need all this discussion about the what happens in the interim between something coming to light and action being taken, because what happens on Reddit isn't going to change whether or not someone gets banned or unbanned.
Yeah, that's true. I think, all that speculation can really only hurt people, like
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not helpful to jump to conclusions. Speaking of, changes within the Smash community, how do you feel like COVID has affected the Smash community?
Uh, COVID as a whole, it was bad because we had all these tournaments going on before, and then once COVID hit, we basically had nothing. There wasn't much to talk about on the sub for a while, other than like just gameplay clips and online tournament results, which that's not what people were coming to r/Smashbros for before.
Mhm,
So that hurt the sub, that hurt the wider community.
mhm.
It's good that we're having online events come back now. They do need to be held safely. I would hope that everyone going to these tournaments has is fully vaccinated. I Anti-vaxxers should not be welcome in
No,
in-person events in the
not at
Smash
all.
community because they make everyone else less safe. And the uh, one thing that I saw the other day that was really cool is CEO is coming up, Community Effort Orlando, and the TO for that, it's in Florida, which has a ban against events having a vaccine mandate. But the TO for that, Jabali, he was just like, we're doing a vaccine mandate anyway. If
Mhm.
someone wants to sue us over that, so be it. And that was really cool, really good to see.
Yeah, I think a lot of the TOs are really, thoughtful when it comes to COVID and safety. I was actually browsing r/Smash Bros today, and I was looking at some of the top posts, and one of them was by a TO, and I can't remember the exact specifics, but it was one of the recent, larger tournaments, and he was like happily announced, like he was actually tracking, to see if anybody got COVID at the event or anything like that. And a couple of people did get COVID, but
Mm-hmm.
it was only like 5 people out of like, over 1,000 or something like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's, it was like less than a percent or something like that. So I think it's cool that they're actually, thinking about that and taking people's safety into perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So in a to escape this the negative subject, what posts do you like seeing on r/Smash Bros?
I I'm a big stats guy, so I love seeing all the statistical analysis about tournament results, how well players are doing, how well characters are doing, and also just the the upset threads that get posted for each tournament. Like that's always been something that I liked following and also making. Like the first tournament that I first got interested in the competitive Smash scene in like summer of 2017, and I immediately uh opened started doing upset threads of my own. So the first tournament that I watched all the way through from start to finish was DreamHack Atlanta 2017, and
Mhm.
I did the Smash 4 upset thread for that. And I'm always looking to improve the way I do these threads. So I've added like seed numbers to everyone's name so that people can tell just what degree of an upset something is.
Oh, that's dope. I really admire you for doing that, because I can understand, like, there's a lot of work that goes into something like that, because yeah, it's really, you're just like hard stats and numbers and
Mm-hmm.
analyzing, and there's all this work that goes into it, and when you see it, it looks simple and it's like easy to read and everything like that, but I definitely appreciate the work that goes into posts like that. I think those posts are definitely high quality. um
Mm-hmm.
what are some posts that you dislike to see, and are maybe, that you would actually even like take off?
Uh, I I don't like seeing ultimate clips in r/Smash Bros in general, just because it's such it can be arbitrary, enforcing we have rules about what types of clips are allowed and what aren't, just
Mhm.
to uh make it so that we don't allow like someone getting not combos against level 3 CPUs or something.
Mhm.
Uh but so some of the rules that we have are more objective, like is your clip longer than 30 seconds? If yes, we're taking it down. And others are much more subjective. Is this a common gameplay string easily achievable by top level players? I don't always know. So I don't like seeing gameplay clips in general in the sub, just because it can be difficult to draw the line of when a post should be taken down or and when it should be left up. I
Mhm.
don't have it's kind of just soured my ability to enjoy ultimate clips on Reddit in general. Whereas
Mm.
if I see a clip in my Twitter feed, I can just be like, oh, that's sick. So
That's true. That's true. How often would you say you have to like ban posts or users?
I mean, it depends. We can go through stretches of a few days without having to ban anyone, because no one's saying anything nasty or anything. Or at least that's ideally the reason why. It could just be that someone's saying something nasty, but it's not getting caught by any of our filters and no one ever reports it to us.
Mhm.
Uh, the if you see something that you think breaks the rules, report it. It's always frustrating as a moderator seeing something that goes unreported for days that is 100% ban worthy.
Mm. And so what is your role as a moderator? Do you have like a specific role different from the other moderators, or do you guys all like kind of do the same thing collectively? How
Uh,
does the moderating work over at r slash Smashbros?
we don't have any like just defined hierarchy or roles for each mod. It's just we don't have a real manpower shortage. So if someone's available to mod, then they mod, but it's not a big deal if they aren't. And all of our decisions, we have channel in our Discord called Courtroom. So if someone wants to see something changed on the sub, they'll bring it up, and then we'll discuss it, we'll vote on it, and whatever that ends up resulting in after a few days, we'll implement it.
Cool. How did
Uh,
you become a
so,
moderator for your community?
so I was active on our Smash Bros from uh, starting in like July 2017, and in September of 2018, mod apps were opened for the first time since I became active in the sub, and I had been a moderator in r/DLC Doki Doki Literature Club
Mhm.
since January of that year. I resigned from that in February of this year because it I just wasn't super interested in the
Yeah.
DLC community anymore. Uh, so uh, I applied in September and I was made a mod. My application was accepted and I was made a mod something like October 16th, 2018.
Hmm. Okay, so you've been doing it for about 3 years then.
Yep,
Mhm.
nearly.
Now, what is like your day like as a moderator? I mean, not like your whole day, but like, do you have certain times that you check, your mail or anything like that? Like, what is your flow like?
I'm on Reddit all the time, so I I just I have the toolbox extension, so I can just see down at the bottom, this is how many mod mails there are, this is how many items are in mod queue. So if something comes up, then I'll just open the mod queue and deal with it. Uh, there's no regular times that I check. I'm also I'm always keeping an eye on the Discord for any new messages in there. There's a bot that I'm hosting that transcribes any mod mails that we get to a channel in the Discord, so we can just is able to see this is a mod mail that's come in if anyone wants to respond to it.
Nice, nice. Well, it's been about an hour. I don't want to hold you for too long. Do you have anything that you want to plug right now, or like, do you have like Instagram, Twitter, anything like that?
I do have a Twitter. It's mostly political stuff. You won't see a whole lot of Smash stuff on it. However, if you do want to check that out, it's Stuart98_. Stuart is spelled Stuart.
Okay, awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on today. I had a blast talking about Smash. I could honestly talk for like 10 hours straight about this, but it's getting late over here, and I know over there it's even later because you're on a Mountain Standard Time. So, yeah, again, just thank you so much, Stuart. One thing before you go, because I want to ask you this, and I want to challenge you to a game of Smash. Actually, if you
Oh
have any
no.
time. This is an official challenge. So I'll text you or message you in Reddit, and hopefully we'll get the ball rolling on that.
Do we want to post that on the YouTube channel, or?
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll try to record it. We'll post on the YouTube channel. I think it'll be dope.
Okay.
All right, Stuart. Well, thanks again for being here. You have a good one. Okay.
You too.
All right. Bye.
See ya.